I don't want you to be beautiful. I want you to be hauntingly beautiful. I want you to linger in the minds of people at the board meeting, in your family, the person you're attracted to. I want you to be that essence that is unforgettable, because anybody could be pretty. Anybody could be a copy-paste version of what is trending right now. But to be timeless is truly an art form. So I'm going to teach you briefly how to do this, how to become that dark feminine mystique, that haunting beauty. As you could hear children in the background, I love it. Okay. Now, before we even start, I just want to say, you don't have to be anything that you're not. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be a black cat. You don't have to be the dark feminine. You don't have to do anything, because you already exist. This energy is already within you, and it's very unique, and it's very particular to your blood, to your family, to your interests, to your desires, to your genius that is in you, and you might already be doing these things. So to be a beauty that haunts is to be a beauty that changes and transforms everyone that she comes in contact with. And she's also someone that's incredibly magnetic. Why? Because she's attractive. Attraction isn't based upon just the way you look, which is your form. It's also based upon your function, your intention. Now, when you can combine form, your physical being, your presence, with your function, which is your intention of what you want to do with your life and what you want to do with your attention and what you want to do with your mind and your future and your goals and your hopes, you combine those together, you become a beauty that haunts, because you become beauty that has intellect and fangs. It's not just a pretty face. It's not just someone that bought into what parents told them to do. But that's for a different video. This video, I want to teach you 3 ways to increase of your beauty that does haunt, that does linger in people's subconscious, that is that dark echo of power that is guiding people into better lives. Because honestly, I feel like when you're a haunting beauty, this means that you change someone's life. So the first thing that is super important is practicing presence. We do this through our posture. Posture is your awareness of your body in space, also known as proxemics. When someone's aware of how their body is in any situation, any dynamic, they already give off the frequency of confidence and competence. Even if you are shaking in your boots, even if you feel like you're about to buck under pressure, even if you just had the most wildest meeting at negotiations, even if all that, if your body language says baddie, says I am a haunting beauty, everyone's gonna treat you as such, right? Maddie from Euphoria said it the best. The best thing about confidence is no one knows that it's real or not. Okay. So that has a lot of weight behind it, because your physical form is super important. So I would highly recommend focusing on posture, even taking videos of self if you create content. Notice how you speak with your arms, notice how you emote with your face, but really starting to train and focus more on your body language. And notice your body language around different people, even people that are successful. Do you kind of get a little bit shy? Can you hold your ground? When you're around certain people and environments, notice how your body language changes. Does it need to change and shift and adapt? But becoming that much more aware of your form will already start to give you that edge and that magnetic awareness of who you are to people, because everyone is always watching. Everyone is always taking in information, because we're animals and we're trying to size people up and understand people's intentions. And that to me is natural. All animals do it. If you look at dogs, when there are dogs that come into each other's territory, they just like look at the subtle little body languages and shifts to see, are you friendly or are you a foe? What's happening, right? So practicing maybe more open body language or more closed, reserved body language, or noticing if you're fidgeting with your phone, if you're fidgeting with your hair, is it intentional? Is it not intentional? Because you could totally do those things to create intention and to take people's awareness to different places, if that is intentional. So your presence of your body at all times in all environments is number 1, and it's priority. Now, the second thing is eye contact. Eye contact to me is one of the most intimate ways to connect with people, because a lot of times people are afraid to look you in the eyes because they're afraid to look at themselves internally. They don't like who they see in the mirror, so they're not going to make eye contact with you. Or they could have a mental health disorder and like they really want to look at you. So it's actually good to make eye contact with people because then you could really see, right? Now, let's put a little bit of an edge on it. If you're watching this video and you're this far into the video, I'm pretty sure you're also really big on self-development, maybe your spiritual growth, your dark feminine energy, the occults, manifestation. And so you have a gift for looking into people's eyes and really starting to get the awareness if they're good for you, if they're not good for you. So making eye contact is very important. Now, once you start to get used to this, you'll notice when I make eye contact with certain energies, my energy goes low. When I make certain eye contact with certain energies, my energy goes high. That is also giving you a gauge with people's magnetic field and about who to make eye contact with and not. I like to think of eye contact as though it's currency. So I'm being very selective of who I am actually connecting with. And a little trick that I learned from theater when I was younger is if you do not want to make eye contact, look a couple inches above someone's head or even like above the bridge of the nose and look at the forehead. Make it a little bit more witchy. You're looking into the third eye, the pineal gland, looking into their true hidden desires, into their true self, into their highest self, and you can get information, but this is not what this video is about, all right? So being strategic with when you make eye contact is very important. So use your eye contact for strategy and for intimacy. And I also find that when people are having a conversation with you and you're making eye contact with them, it's intense. And people are like, oh my God, I'm getting drawn into your eyes. However, I also find that when people are being seen and they're being heard and they're being listened to, they awaken. A lot of parts of them awaken. And this will go into my third point. Silence and listening, which is the art of receiving, right? And really listening to people's stories and listening to people's interests and listening to people in conversation, because a lot of the times we're used to being interjected and being told no and that we're wrong and that we have a different opinion and we have all these things. We're going to shame people into submission and it's forced and it's combative and like, I need my needs met. I need this price to be met. I want this to happen, right? And yeah, you could do that. I've done it. I could get loud. I could totally do that. Or you could really listen about what people need, what they want. Let them take you through their story and through their journey, even if it's inaccurate. Even if you were there and you know that's not how things went, listen, make eye contact, receive. Because you might notice as you go through that road with them into that part of their memory, their purpose, their intention, when you now intercept and connect on that place, because there's a pause, you come in now, you break the silence, you offer something. Maybe also you're a little bit more grounded in your emotions, especially if you were triggered at one point in the conversation. But now you're calm, you can enter into with grace. And what grace is the articulation of your inner world and now offering something in the conversation to amplify and to ascend the conversation. Or to create a little bit of entropy, a little bit of chaos to start to change the direction of the conversation to somewhere else, right? That's grace, that's eloquence, that's I'm acknowledging where you're at and I want to take it to a different place. For example, if you are like me, people will naturally just be attracted to us and will spill the hearts and they will know that we can help them transform and get to another place. Okay, well that's really expensive for me, right? Like I charge people for this in their business, their lives, all these things, and also it trains me. And I know that the universe doesn't want me drained. The universe wants me to be abundant so I can give to you, so I can give to my clients, so I can give to life. And I love that. So what I do is, one time I had someone come to me and they had a really good awareness around food. I love that we're talking about food. I love food. I love the medicine of food. I've had a journey with food, both the dark, the shadow, EDs, and the love, the light, transforming my body and healing my body when all Western doctors told me like this, I was gonna live with this condition. I use food as medicine, right? So I'm pretty well versed in it, but I always love to learn. I'm always really curious. There was a couple moments in the conversation when I could have cut this person off and corrected them, right? One, that's gonna drain me. Two, that could have created conflict. But also three, when I was really listening, this person was so passionate. And they were just at the beginning of their journey, which I was like, that's going to be $1 million idea. They're going to be really influential. And I heard it and I was like, okay, let them work out these ideas right now. Let them go into that. And as I was listening more, then we started to get into this place where I could see that they had this one memory of like pain and trauma. And it was as a crutch to keep them from actually going into the next level of sharing this message with people. So when we got to that place, I was like, whoa. If you weren't rejected, if you didn't get that injury, if you didn't like have that pause in your life at that moment, you wouldn't have all this knowledge. You wouldn't be who you are. And I believe that you're going to take this and you're going to run with it. And like, I saw the lights turn on, because so many times when we share our stories, other people will try to intercept and do the emotional labor, or try to victimize us even more. And there's so much of this victim predator energy, but I truly don't believe that. I truly believe that everything that has happened in your life is your power, is teaching you how to become that much more of a light for life. So when you can come in and you can notice what part of the conversation to now amplify and redirect it. So now we're not going to go into this dark victim energy, but instead I'm just going to lightly get it to this place, right? And now that they said that, or I said that, I was like, whoa, that transformed your life, I could tell. And if you didn't have that transformative experience, you wouldn't have all this wisdom. They were like, whoa, yeah, I was just saved from like a bunch of chaos. I was like, yeah. And then I think we started talking about like coconut water. We started talking about something else. I don't know. And it got lighter, right? So that's the art of learning how to have a conversation, which that'll be another different video. However, I find to be a haunting beauty just presence, eye contact, silence, and then ascending conversation. People want to be loved. And I find that when we love the darker parts of ourselves, we love the lighter parts of ourselves, we then can appreciate that of other people and the dualities and the nuances, because no one's linear. And the final thing to do to really enhance being a haunting beauty in any place is practicing the art of reflection. When you look in the mirror, what's the first thing you say? Is it criticism? Are you looking to nitpick something? Are you judging yourself? Do you have a goal and you're not there yet and like, I need to get that goal? Well, if you're doing that, then you will naturally be looking for this in other people and criticizing them and constantly pulling them down, right? Or you might attract people that will start to do that to you, because they will teach you how to stop looking in the mirror and stop trying to shame yourself into submission or shame yourself into your goals, right? You could get to your goal. You could get to that goal through hatred. And babes, I've done that 10 times over and again and again and again. And I feel like that's a patriarchal way of moving, right? The toxic patriarchy. Whereas you could get to your goal and let it be super sensual and very loving. So when you look in the mirror right now, you could say, I'm beautiful. I have changed so much. I'm so grateful for who I've become. I'm so grateful for every experience that has got me to this place. I am so powerful. I have another video about affirmations. You can go look at my series here on YouTube. But I want you to get comfortable looking in the mirror and praising yourself. Even the parts of yourself that aren't fully completed yet, right? Even the darker aspects, right? When I look in the mirror, I said, we are crazy. We are wild. We get what we want. We set a boundary. We check people. We know our value. We're clocking patterns. We understand those things. We can burn a bridge. We can build a city, right? Like, I'm speaking to myself in that way because I'm noticing all parts of myself and I'm not attaching to just one version. And when you do this, you become magnetic because you are embracing all parts of you. You're becoming more attractive, which in the laws of physics, the law of attraction, the law of magnetism, you start to pull things towards you. You start to pull in energy. You start to pull in people's consciousness. You start to pull in so much success. I pray that this was helpful. This teaches you how to be a haunting beauty. And I'll put in the descriptions ways that we connect. I love you so much. Happy spooky season.